show you how to complete a discharge summary for this test patient. I'm open on the summary end page of this patient, and I can see this patient's been in with pneumonia, with a background of COPD, with a previous history of asthma and back pain. And during this admission, the patient's had a bronchoscopy. I'm now going to proceed to the discharge process, which is by opening the Depart process from the menu bar at the top of the screen. Then opens this window. On the left hand side I can see a list of contents, menu items that I need to work through to complete the discharge summary, and on the right hand side I can see a rendition of the discharge summary. It's going to look like when it's printed or sent to the GP. As you can see, this discharge summary is already partially completed. I'm going to now show you through the various different sections of the menu items. So if I click on Allergies, it shows me that this patient has had their allergies documented. I'm happy with that, so I can close this window, cancel recording, yes. I also can see from the letter that the discharge medicines are already completed, but if I haven't done that, I can go into the discharge medicines reconciliation, and I can convert any inpatient medicines to discharge medications by clicking the radio button in this medicines column. When I convert the medicine to a discharge medication, it'll ask me several questions, two of which are: was this a pre-hospital medication, and do I want the GP to continue? Make sure you answer these questions before signing the order. I'm going to cancel this because I don't want to add any further discharge medications to this discharge summary. I can see that the diagnosis is not entered in this discharge summary, and this highlights this in the menu item. It tells me that this is a mandatory field that has not been completed. If I click on the discharge diagnosis, it takes me to the discharge control, or the diagnosis control rather, and I can see that there are a number of diagnoses in the control, but they're designated as admitting diagnoses. I need to now modify these diagnoses to discharge diagnoses for them to appear in the discharge summary. To do that, I right click, modify diagnosis, and change admitting to discharge. Click OK, and do the same again for the second diagnosis item. I've now converted these from admitting to discharge diagnosis. I can close this window, and I can see on my letter that the diagnosis of pneumonia and the comorbidity of COPD has been entered into the discharge summary. I'm now going to make an amendment to the discharge note, so I click on the discharge note, and it takes me to a form. I can see this is a 2-page form. There's the discharge note and additional information. I can enter information into these boxes at any point during the inpatient stay, and I can update them at the point of discharge. I note that we've got the blood results in this patient, but we haven't actually added the X-ray details. So I'm going to add that information now. So I've updated that. The form is now complete. There's something written in every box. Note, I've also ticked that I'm going to give this patient a sick note. I can then sign the form by clicking the green tick, and the discharge note is now complete. I can review the information under the various headings that are in the discharge note in the right hand side window. I've now completed the doctor portion of the discharge summary, and this is now complete unless I want to order any further inpatient orders, in which case I can open the orders window from this screen. I'm not going to do this on this occasion, so I'll close this down. There is an other contributors section where nurses, allied health professionals, etc. can add a paragraph to their letter. They click on their profession type and then free text a note into their letter. This will then appear in the final document. I'm not going to do this, I'm going to cancel this. We now come to the final part of the process, which is where the nurse or the ward clerk basically prints out the letter for the patient, discharges the patient from the ward and removes the patient from the bedboard. To do that, we just click on Key Discharge Details, and this is the consent form. Click that the patient's gone with consent, usually go to the usual place of residence, and you then put your name as the nurse or ward clerk discharging the patient. Today's date is today, T, and now press in N, and then complete this form. You can then check that everything's been completed in the discharge summary, and it has, because it's taken me to the discharge patient from the bedboard window. So I'm going, again, it's asking me for the consent details. The patient's discharged with consent, and we're going today, now. Again, I'm the person discharging, and I'm going to complete this and click OK. So when I finish the depart process, the patient will be removed off the bedboard. I then have to sign this, that the patient understands the discharge plan, so I can click that. And when I'm ready for the patient to go, I can print one copy for the patient, which will print to a local printer, and then save send, click save send, and the discharge summary will send directly to the patient's GP electronically. And when we refresh this, the patient is now discharged from the patient list. We'll just check the patient list and refresh that, and you can see that this patient has now gone.